Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, thanks everyone. Welcome to Managing Risk with Contract Price Option. I am Jeff Leegard and I'll be the host for today. I do have some great people in the background that will be helping me with this as well. As everyone's joining, I'd just like to let you know that this uh, webinar will be recorded for reference to anyone that was unable to attend and for us to help with anyone that's wanting to review some of the questions that were answered throughout this whole one. For a little bit of housekeeping, I'd like to let you know first the recording, and the second part is the any questions that anyone on here has at any time, you have the ability to ask those questions through the chat Q&A. You won't be able to actually unmute yourself and just speak into it. You'll have to type it into the Q&A. And with that, I have Drew that will help me and stop me at any time through the process of answering these questions. We do have a calculator demonstration and an actual example of how it went right through to a claim process of a contract price option. So if you have questions about stuff like that, we will be getting slides. We may hold your question off till we get to those slides as we go on. So once again, thanks for everyone joining, and let's start the presentation. So contract price option, for any of those that have never heard of it before, it is a risk management tool for all agri insurance clients. It's flexible. And when I say flexible, a lot of people don't really see the value in that. But for us and contract price option with agri insurance, it is truly flexible because you don't have to make a choice to join into the program till June 30th. And with that, I'm going to start out with trying to get a little better idea of our audience today. And we have some questions just for everyone. You'll see these polls come up. And if you can answer them as they come through, scroll down till you get all the questions. Once we have questions tabulated, we'll move forward. So the first one is, have you ever used the contract price option with MASC? The second one is, if you have or have not, have you contracted any of 2026 crop for this upcoming year? And it doesn't matter what it is, just what we're wanting to know if you've done any forward pricing for the 2026 year. And then the other question was, is if so, what crops have you contracted? Whether it's the forage seed, organic pedigreed seeds, or all other crops, just to get an idea. And while you're doing the poll, I'll just wait, and when they all come in, I'll get a cue to move forward with what the majority has done.
So it looks like most people have answered here, 100%. So I'm going to end this poll here now for you
Okay.
and then share the results with everybody. You should be able to see them.
Forage seed. Well, two out of the 17. Okay, perfect. So we have a lot of different variables. I'm seeing that yes, 16 out of 30 have done some contracting, which is good to see. That's great to know.
Okay, I'll
Alrighty.
stop sharing.
Thank you, Lori or Aaron. Sorry. Now we can move to the next slide and we'll get into this. So, contract price option, what it does is allow a producer to take our dollar coverage along with producer contracts to blend together for a new reflected blended coverage dollar value. And which that helps you do is just basically take the higher values that you've got above us, and that will be blended into your coverage. And all this has to be done before June 30th. We had it in our question poll, but we also want to remind everybody that contract price option is available on almost all crops. And the new three that we wanted to make sure everybody knows about are our organics, pedigreed seed, and forage seed crops. All are included with the CPO. And with the poll, we already saw that there was two clients that had contracted some forage seed. There's only three crops that are not included in CPO, and those three are your potatoes, vegetables, and forages, meaning something that's going to be cut and baled. So just the three that are not included. So it gives you a wide range of options to take advantage of contract price option. Now the benefits. Why is contract price option such a good thing? Well, instantly it's giving you increased dollar coverage, meaning if you've got contracts above what MASC's dollar coverages are, you're going to have that represented into your coverage. The flexible timelines, like we've already talked about, you've got till June 30th to take advantage. And some of the other ones are your second part of your cash advance is reflected on your dollar coverage. So if you have a CPO included in your seeded acreage report by June 30th, the second part of the cash advance will have that higher dollar. Same with reseed benefit. You get, if you have a reseed, you get 25% of your dollar coverage. So if you have a higher dollar coverage, you have a higher reseed benefit. As well, now in the last year and a half, we've seen it where wildlife claims. So if anyone is having any issues with wildlife issues going into the fall, your claim will be based on your dollar coverage, including if it's a CPO, you'll get that higher dollar coverage on your shortfalls because of wildlife. Eligible crop contracts. So this is where we've in the past when we did a webinar, some people have a lot of questions and concerns or wanting to know what is included and what is not. So we have three basic types of contracts that you can have included in CPO. The first one is a basis. It's a premium per ton, and most contracts have two components to them, your futures price and a basis. That's how most elevators deal with it. With basis contracts, you must note that we only use a plus or positive basis to be applied. And how we do those contracts is we take our dollar coverage with whatever positive basis you have, and we add that to the dollar coverage to put it into a contract. The second option is fixed production contracts or fixed price or delivery contracts. And basically that is where you have a futures and a price and a basis combined for a straight price for so many tons at a dollar value. So they're relatively simple, very easy to see, and all those that are above our dollar coverage can be included. The third one, which we don't see that very often, but was something, and it may be something in your pedigreed or forage seed production contracts, are these variable contracts. Variable contracts are where you see a specific legal land with specific acres that all production will be purchased by the purchaser for a certain price. These contracts don't give you a specific tonnage or lot amount. So with these contracts, what we do is we use the client's personal coverage level for that crop, for that legal land, and we will put the contract in for their total coverage amount for that legal land at whatever price the contract is on the variable. So that's for total production, but it needs to have specific legal lands attached to it. Additional information for the contracts for CPO. Something that we saw in the past that we had to address, and we want to make sure everyone's known about it, is all contracts must be an arm's reach away to be accepted. Meaning, if you have a relationship or if you're a part of a corporation that purchases a commodity and you're trying to have a contract be included, but you're part of the corporation, those ones will be questioned and we'll have to verify that this isn't something that's not in question. But so you can't sell it to your neighbor, vice versa, or a cousin and put it on the back of a napkin to be included in this. It actually has to be an arm's reach away and it does have to be verified. Another thing that we've seen lots of is these futures only contracts, which may be for you, the client, or you, the producer, a great option. But future only contracts we cannot use because we have no idea what the basis may do. And how we do it is on the basis we have your dollar value and we take the positive to add it in to be contracted. Futures only will not do it. We need to have a fixed price or a basis attached to it. And the last one where we see this in the past, when we only started with peas and canola, we saw this on pea contracts, is where you have multiple delivery options with different prices per delivery option into it. With those, we can only accept the first and earliest delivery date to be assumed that that's when you would deliver. The ones we cannot make the assumptions out to an October, November, March, April, May delivery and accept those. They have to, with multiple delivery and pricing options, we will take that contract, but only offer it at the first delivery date. So, what do you need to know to get started into calculating this out, or how do you better understand it? The first thing you need to do is have your confirmation of insurance in front of you, where you can find that on your My MASC or in the packages you would have received prior to March 31st for production, so you know what you have. Also, you need to know the 2026 or whatever year you're into, the dollar values of each commodity crop that we offer. And you also must know that the dollar values of any of your contracts have to be higher than our dollar coverage, or we were not going to apply them to you. How do you find the dollar values? This is the MASC website. And right in the middle of it, you can see it. It's circled in red, the 2026 dollar values. When you click into that, each commodity will have its specific dollar value, whether it's pedigreed, whether it's organic, or any of the other ones. And that's how you can get into finding it for your dollar coverage is when you want to start to look at a contract price option. Now, MASC is very happy to say that we have the ability to do a contract price option calculator. You have two options. You could either contact your local service center and have an insurance specialist work with you through it, or on your leisure time, we do have our website, and you can find the calculator under our tools tab. When under the tools tab, you can scroll down and you will see, and I've highlighted it here in red, contract price option calculator. It's simple as that. It's easy for anyone to use and it's at your convenience. At this time now, we're going to actually walk you through this calculator. And I believe Drew is going to go through it right from the website. So when we start, she's now found it on the contract price calculator. This is how it comes up. And it starts with the legal land. So any commodity that you want to figure out what your coverage is and what a calculator would look like, you have to know your legal lands. That's where the confirmation of insurance will be very helpful for starting out. Once you get the legal land, you click search, then you mold down. You have to do whatever commodity crop it is that you want to take. We're going to use Argentine canola because that's a consistent one we see lots of. You've got your acres you have to enter. And this one, we're going to use an example of 120 and then select it for coverage. You'll see that it's in there and you just add it to the selected fields. Now we're going to do another legal land. We're going to use 3 legal lands just to give you an idea of what is all included. As Drew's clicking through it, you will see that the first field's already there. We still have to select the crops because it'll let you do variable crops as well, but we want to do all the Argentine canola ones at one time. Make sure your legal lands are correct, and it'll enter. You got to select it again with the 80% coverage. You can't do split coverages with a crop with MASC. That's just something you can't do. But if you have a different coverage level selected for that year outside of 80, you can do that as well. We're going to keep going through it. This will be the third field. We got to do Argentine canola one more time and add it. So now when we look at it, all 3 fields are selected. The beautiful part about it is I did say you need to know your confirmation insurance. You do need to know your legal lands. Here, the dollar value is included here on this little right in the center at $650 a metric ton. So we know that's what it is. It tells you what the coverages are and probable yield based off your legal land. So it automatically inputs that. You don't have to do that. Coverage level is 80. But now it totals up what your total coverage is for the 410 acres of canola on this contract, which says you have 341 metric ton coverage, a total dollar value of 221,000, which is your tons times your 650, and your premium is calculated at 5116.80. So this is what your coverage looks if you try to figure it out for your confirmation of insurance for 2026. Now, to figure out what you would get for a contract price option, we're going to add a contract to this to calculate out. So you click on it, input, add a canola contract. We're going to use 750 metric tons. Simple math, easy. And we're going to do 175 metric tons on one contract. If you have multiple contracts, you can do it at multiple prices. We're just making it simple for this example as we do it. So we add it. Now, this is where it instantly does it. It's really nice that everything's working great today. And now you can see what's happened. So above the highlighted lines, you can see we now have the same tonnages. Your tonnage coverage does not change in tons. The new blended dollar value is an increase from the 221 to 239,390.50, which is and in the summary, it does it quite well. But it's showing you that on 410 acres, by having one contract that was $100 a ton better than our dollar coverage, 650 to 750, it works out to $17,500 more coverage on all your canola acres. Now, that sounds great. Everyone likes it, but what does that cost you, Mar? Well, in this example, the increase in premium went from the 51 and change to now 55.20, which is only $403 total premium more, which is just shy of your dollar an acre more coverage. So for a dollar an acre more premium, you're getting 17,500. This is the example it shows you this way. I did some calculations just so you understand it better. This example had a 12.48 per acre premium that now goes to $13.46 per acre premium. But your coverage per acre went from 650 a metric ton is now 701. So you basically increased $51 per ton on every shortfall you have. And this calculator is on our website for anyone to use at any time. There is some limitations with the number of legal lands you could do or the sizes of contracts. You may have to blend some of them, but this is an option for you, the client. You can use it at any time whenever you need it. Now we're going to move to this is a video we did, but we don't need to do it. So now I want to go to an actual claim example of how what we just did on the calculator, now applying it to what could happen real life farm and how CPO could benefit a client. So we have your coverage, the 410 acres, which were the 3/4, the 341 metric ton at 650 per ton coverage, which is MASC's coverage. 1248 is your per acre premium that you would pay, and total coverage is 221,000. With the example of the calculator we did, we now take the 410, stays the same, the 341 metric ton stays the same, but now the blended price per ton goes from 650 to 701.30. The new CPO premium is up just shy of $1 an acre from 1248 to 1346. That coverage, which represents at 17,500, goes to 239, 390.50. So you can see in the yellow, we've done it again. But in this example in green, I'm going to say what happened or what could happen is the producer goes to harvests his Argentine canola crop, and he's 121 metric tons short of his total coverage of the 341. So we're taking the difference of his increased coverage, the 5130, which is the 701 minus 650, and we times that by the 121 metric ton that he is short. So his increased payout on the whole thing is $6,156 more on that 120 versus what he would have paid. Now we know I should do this quickly. I'll do it. And sorry for those that haven't done it. The 120 would actually work out to times 70130. The total payout on that 410 acres with 120 metric ton shortfall is 84,000. But by increasing your with using CPO and increasing your total coverage by that 17.5, 120 metric ton shortfall gave them an extra $6,156. So that's as simple as the program works, and it can work on those other ones as well as a reseed benefit, and it works the same way on a wildlife claim. Whatever dollar short or whatever bushel you're short, you're getting this additional coverage.
Hey, Jeff, we have a question from Barry.
Absolutely.
Barry's asked, given that premiums are cost share with both levels of government, do their premiums go up or are we averaging premiums with other producers?
No, this is your individual for this contract price option. It's not shared. It is you're paying the additional, even though there is a portion that is, but it's not cost shared amongst other producers. You choose the CPO, you will pay the additional premium.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Is there any other examples somebody would like to share or ask us to do? If you have a small forage seed that you have that we could do an example for, we have the time to do it, absolutely. At this time, yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions or you want to just see how it could affect yourself, we could do it quickly. It is working well by doing it straight online through the website.
Hey, Jeff, Barry just has another question building on that last one. Just asking if government premiums will be going up.
That is a good question, Barry. I can't actually say that with adding CPO to it, no, because it's only those that are included in the program that would see the premiums going up. Outside of that, premiums are always calculated with everything being factored into it with the cost of all the commodities and everything else. Outside of that, I can't actually see where things would be going. As far as premiums, Barry, I apologize for that. That's a question that today I can't say whether they're going up or down. There's a lot of factors into those as well. Wow, with that, I guess I would like to remind everyone if you do have specific questions or if you would like to have one of our insurance specialists work through any examples on your personal farm and contracts that you have and you'd like help with it, we now have on our site all the MASC service centers that you can contact that are the nearest one to you. They will be willing to help you walk through any contract price option questions and quotes at any time. I'd like to thank everyone for attending. It was great to see the numbers that are increased. And once again, don't hesitate at any time to reach out to your local MASC with any questions you have. And hopefully we see more sunshine and more melt and get this spring seeding underway. Thanks again for everyone. And with that, we'll end the webinar.